What have you learned from your audience feedback? I decided to create a focus group to answer this question, with a range of ages involved, but still within my target audience. I had both genders to get the widest opinion I could.
You said cut my scream off as well.
It was like that anyway. Okay, right.
So
What do you think works well on my trailer?
I like how at the end the shots get closer together, like it gets quicker as it
Okay.
goes along.
Yeah, it causes like drama.
What about like the
Suspense.
music? It's
I like the music.
Yeah, because like I was going to make it quite dramatic at the end, but I just distorted it instead. I think it worked well.
Yes, it does.
I like
Yes,
the
it
bit
makes
in the
it
middle.
Scary.
The bit in
Yeah.
the middle that suddenly changes, it kind of swings it a different way.
And how like between so many scenes you have like there is no escape and
Yeah.
bits like that.
Yeah.
Starts off all
To help like
nice.
tell the
and
story.
then
Yeah,
just
it
gets
tells the
worse
story.
Helps you
and worse.
understand it.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Is there like anything you think I could have like improved on, like maybe added some more shots in, or like made it a bit longer, or do you think it was too long?
No, it's about the right length, I think, but maybe like a few more like flashing images
Yeah.
of bits would have been
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and with the flashing images, maybe like bangs and stuff, you know, how you had towards the end. I think
Yeah.
that worked well, so that would have probably worked better as well if you put more of that in.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. We'll move on to my poster. And what do you think works well on my poster?
I like the title. I think it goes well with the whole theme of knives and killing.
Because it like
Yeah,
stands out.
stands out.
Looks like metal shining like the blade.
I like the image and how it's like light in the corner, and it gets dark and you can't really tell what it is.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And I like the colour scheme, it being sepia, kind of relating to like the woods and horror films. So no colour, because then it sets an atmosphere, sets a mood of it being dark and kind of
Mysterious.
creepy.
Creepy.
What about the angle of the shot?
That's good because he's sort of looking down on you, so that makes you feel very.
Yeah.
Or killed. It looks like you're on the floor.
Yes, and about to be killed.
Intimidating.
Very intimidating. Yes.
Okay. And what do you think I could improve on it?
The line at the top could stand out a bit more. She can't really
Yeah. Because
read it in the dark corner. Yeah.
Perhaps be a little bit bigger as well,
Yeah.
so that you can read that because you have to get quite close to see that.
Or maybe the figures stand out a bit more, or maybe the blade behind it. But I do like the way it blends kind of
Yeah.
into the background, but maybe stand out a little bit more, maybe with the tones or something.
Okay. And move on to my website. And what do you think works well on my website?
Again, the little tabs at the top stand out, making it very clear and easy to navigate.
The colours are the same again, so it helps it relate well to the poster, and it makes the figure stand out.
Yeah, it looks quite ghostly, the figure. So
Yeah.
it's quite scary.
Mysterious.
Mysterious.
And the
yeah.
title again, the font looks like a blade again.
Yeah. And what do you think I could improve on it? That would make it better.
Like the trees in the background could stand out a bit more, or maybe the figure not quite as bright, kind of like faded into the background a bit more, like the poster
Yeah.
was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe the taglines where you could probably
Yeah,
put
definitely.
a shadow on that to
Or
make that
change the
stand
colour.
out more.
Yeah.
So that could be seen.
Okay. And my final question is, like, what do you think makes them work well together to be like consistent as like?
Colour schemes.
Yeah, colour scheme works well
Definitely.
together.
Yeah, and the font.
The
that-
fonts, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
And obviously the common theme running through it on all of them. We've got
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
With
the
the
way
killer
the figure.
the main
Yeah.
killer on there with the knife and the blade.
And it's all got like the forest in as well to relate it
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
like a horror theme, and
Okay.
the blades in all of it.
Right. Okay. Thanks. That's
Thank
it.
Yeah.
How did you use new media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages? Research and planning. Word document. The majority of my textual analysis was written on Word and images pasted in there. I also created my flat plans on Word using the drawing tools. I also created my questionnaires on Word. Excel. I used Excel to create pie charts from my questionnaire results. This made it easier for me to quickly and easily view and understand these results. YouTube. I used this site to watch the trailers that I studied for my textual analysis. I also used print screen on certain shots and pasted them into Word to make it easier for me to annotate. I also set up a question on a social network, which was empire.com, to try and get as much audience feedback as I could to make the best possible packages. Poster. Digital camera. To take my image for my poster, I knew I wanted to be in a brown sepia tone, so I changed the settings to a darker light as I captured in the day. I didn't want it to be too bright. Photoshop. As I didn't have a sepia camera setting, all the editing to get this effect was done on Photoshop after. To adjust these colour channels, I used the Curves tool to change them. I also edited my font using Photoshop by using effects like drop shadow and adding an image to my title font to create a rusty, decayed look. Website. Photoshop. The majority of my work for my poster was created on Photoshop. To create the background on my poster, I used the background on my image. I cut and copied the part I wanted and dragged it across to fill the page. The text for my title was already downloaded from the font, and I wanted to use the font Georgia for other parts of my text. I created a button by using the rounded square box and dragged it around the text I wanted. I created the outlining box around my trailer using the square tool and then filled it with a zoomed in image I had taken to again fit into the brown decayed theme. Digital camera. Similar to the poster, except this image was taken at night and I used a different camera which I could immediately use a sepia setting. This again helped to create this distorted brown image. I also took a simple image of the edge of a silver laptop. I then cut this image right down to create the silver bar separating the top part of my website from the bottom. Trailer. Video camera. I got taught all about what settings I should and shouldn't be using on my camera. I recorded each scene more than once to help lose mistakes, and I left 5 seconds before action and before I stopped filming to make sure I got everything I wanted in the shot. I needed my camera to be using the automatic white balance setting with the sound adjusted to 16-bit to get the best effect. Final Cut. I found it quite difficult to use, however I managed to create a trailer I felt worked well. Once my clips had been converted into Final Cut, I was able to cut them down to the size I wanted by cutting the clips up. I liked adding the effects like the crossfade tool in between my shots as it adds a bit of atmosphere to my trailer. This was achieved by dragging the crossfade to in front and behind of the shot I wanted it to, which was mainly my captions. Photoshop. This was used to create my caption shots. I set the page settings to film and video, created what I wanted on my caption, saved and imported it into Final Cut. GarageBand was a new program for me. I used it to find the music I wanted in my trailer. I chose an emotional piano song as I felt this suited my trailer best. I then saved it into my documents and imported it into Final Cut. To make my distorted part of the music, I overlapped the same song to try and create a more spooky sound to add tension to the end of my trailer.